We're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days.
This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the season finale of the Last Days Livestream, the show that brings welcome levity to the end of the world, lifting the spirits of many of you battling boredom, loneliness or anxiety by infecting as many as possible with comfort and distraction as the apocalypse unfolds. Wow, we made it to the final episode of season 1 of the inaugural Last Days live stream. It began, of course, as the coronavirus lockdown live stream. Then we changed our name. Then we introduced a quiz. Things got out of hand, but we're still here right at the very end. Renato in the green room is just signaling 5-0. I think he's indicating a certain personal achievement of mine when it comes to fooling the rest of my panel regarding Watchtower quotes. Anyway, let's take a few comments. As usual, you're all just bantering away happily. I almost feel guilty interrupting such wonderful camaraderie. Rihanna Royer says, good morning all from gloomy North Carolina. Oh dear. We'll have to make North Carolina slightly less gloomy by putting on a good show. Susan is with us. Good morning from Arkansas. Gonna miss this mayhem next 2 months. Yes, the Last Days live stream takes a 2-month hiatus and it will be back in November to resume the usual Saturday, Wednesday schedule. Looking forward very much to it and seeing what ideas I have for the show in the 2 months in between. Joelle Brown says, good, very early morning from Australia. Yes, it will be an unearthly hour in Australia. I mean, we're used to Sasha and Sherry going against their body clocks to be with us, but always very impressive to see people from down under here for the Saturday show, which is more easily watchable by people in America. Arthur, as always, lurks. He won't actually be here in person for today's show because he has other arrangements. But we do nevertheless have a sing-along with Arthur to show you later, so look out for that. Debbie Yule says, hello all from Scotland. Hello, Debbie. I think that's a message for Donna. Hitting us hard here in South Florida. It's never nice to be hit hard by anything or anyone, so commiserations there, Kevin. Just scrolling through some of these comments. Again, just basically banter. I'm just interrupting all of you at this point. I do apologize. Renato is both in the comments and in the green room. Scott Conradi says, will Arthur set up his own singing channel during the 2-month break? If Arthur were an opportunist and a traitor, that's probably the sort of thing he might do, but who knows? I guess whatever the fans demand, whatever his loyal followers require, I'm sure he will do or not do. It's up to him. Steve Thu says, I'm going to miss hanging out with everyone. We will miss you, Steve Thu. Eric Larson says, yo, give me a truth. I think that's a reference to a certain convention dramatization of forbidden love. Gosh. And one more comment from... Scrolling down. Sorry to interrupt your conversation, everyone. Motorway to Roswell we're like a Zoom meeting here. Everyone says hi for half an hour. Yeah, basically, these are all just old messages, aren't they? What's a new message? What's the latest message? Can't wait for Arthur's singing, says Lisa. Kimberly is saying hi everyone, but I'm told she will be with us, and her husband will be with us soon. Sarah Matthews says hi Lloyd and crew. Have a fantastic last live stream. I've just emailed you mine and my son's freedom photo for your montage. Yes, probably worth mentioning that I am doing a special campaign whereby if you are an XJW, feel free to send through to this email address a photo or preferably a 10-second video of you holding up a sign or banner that says, "Our joy is being free." Once you've done it, you'll see what the whole point of it is. But it's for basically a montage project showing that freedom is indeed preferable to whatever it is witnesses are being encouraged to do, think, or say at their latest convention. So yes, thank you for that reminder. Anyway, let's launch into our final book reading of Season 1 of the Last Days live stream. We have been reading from Exiting the JW Cult, a healing handbook for current and former Jehovah's Witnesses by Bonnie Zeman, who, as mentioned, is a mental health professional and an ex-JW. Who better to write such a book? Journaling about your experience, I should say this is from chapter 9. Journaling about your experience on your own is a valid and extremely helpful form of psychological debriefing. When you do it on your own, you don't have to worry about chronological order or providing a detailed context unless you want to. You also don't have to wonder if you are explaining it well enough for someone else, for example a therapist, to understand. You're doing it for yourself, so do it in any form you choose. Just do it. American writer Pat Conroy, in his book My Reading Life, says, "Writing is the only way I have to explain my own life to myself. Begin now to explain your life as a Jehovah's Witness to yourself with a debriefing record." Author Christina Enevoldsen, who helps folks overcoming sexual abuse, says, "It's common to reject or punish yourself when you've been rejected by others. When you experience disappointment from the way your family or others treat you, that's the time to take special care of yourself. What are you doing to nurture yourself? Find a healthy way to express your pain. Take special care of yourself and express your pain by writing about your experience in this doomsday cult." Bonnie doesn't mince her words. Have you ever noticed how someone who is in an accident or in the hospital for surgery or who has been mugged, etc., seems to need to tell the story of the incident over and over again? You'll often hear them say things like, "and then, and it took forever, and I couldn't understand, but eventually, and I was so scared, it was so, and I did tell you." They are not just deriving some narcissistic pleasure from talking about themselves. Their psyche knows that by relating the incident over and over, they initiate an inner healing process. They are releasing the trauma. Their brain is organizing, reorganizing, understanding, and coming to terms with the experience by telling it over and over. These folks who repeat their story several times to anyone who will listen are, without knowing it, debriefing themselves. When a major traumatic event happens, the psyche compels us to relate it. You do not necessarily have to sit in front of a therapist to debrief. You can do it for yourself with a private, password-protected, online journal or with paper and pen. You may have already noticed the urge to do so. Don't ignore the urge. It is a nudge towards healing. It's following a natural instinct to heal. One proviso: since we usually have so much to relate after a trauma or during an ongoing trauma, we need to be careful that we don't burden those close to us by relating our story repeatedly ad nauseum. That would not be sensitive or fair. In a private journal, we can record our story without overburdening the patience or sensitivities of anyone. Journaling is a great way to debrief, to honor our stories, to let go of some of the pain, and to initiate the healing process. The goal is, at some point down the road, to close the journal and walk away from the painful story free, relieved, and renewed. I have been reading from Exiting the JW Cult, A Healing Handbook for Current and Former Jehovah's Witnesses by Bonnie Zeman. What excellent thoughts about the value of writing a journal as a form of debriefing. And now we are joined by our green room, which includes special guest Eric Wells from Recovering from Religion, rejoining our motley crew, together with Renato from Brazil, together with Sasha and Sherry from Australia, and together with Mark O'Donnell from Maryland. How are you all?
Hello.
I'm
Good. How are you doing?
So exciting, man.
Hey guys.
Eric,
G'day.
you clearly enjoy self-flagellation and self-punishment because you've come back. It wasn't too traumatizing for you the first time, apparently.
No, it didn't scare me off at all. You can try harder this time.
Well,
we
you
will.
need to be careful when what you say, because we do have a sing-along with Arthur primed and ready to go.
Oh boy.
Eric was just telling me a moment ago that he's very good at poetry as well. So feel free to give my segment over to Eric. No pressure.
And we are also joined by Kimmy.
Sorry, you guys, I forgot to actually enter the broadcast studio, Lloyd. I was sitting there thinking I was in the waiting room. I was not.
Yeah, if you just sat there on your chair staring at the wall, you need to understand there are things you need to do in order to join the live stream.
And I do have a college degree, too.
But Mark and Kimmy, probably some of you eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed a film crew person pass by Mark's webcam. Things are afoot in Casa O'Donnell, and I'm wondering whether you can fill us in.
I can probably. Well, I can only tell you so much right now, but
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. I don't know what I am doing here. I'm on a very
Mark
short.
is not a camera person, as you can tell.
I feel like it's the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Wow, a masked cameraman
Yeah, so
taking due precautions.
Who was
right.
that?
So more information about the project forthcoming. I can't say a whole lot right now about it, but let's just say it's not about the Catholic Church.
It might not even be about Jehovah's Witnesses, because frankly, Mark, you are an interesting person. If I were making a documentary, and I would just follow you around, to be honest, in various situations.
I think you
could
could
be
make
about
good
the
money
history
as a
of the fanny
professional
pack.
stalker, Lloyd.
I don't know about all of you, but I personally, there's a hole in my life at the moment. I'm feeling a bit blue. I'm feeling a little bit gloomy, and it's at times like this when I need more than anything a little bit of comfort.
Creepy comfort.
Sherry's Comfort Corner.
Played and doing a funny little.
Hey, Mark, you're not muted.
Oh, let me
Mark,
mute my mic.
apparently Mark is introducing this week's Comfort Corner. So
It's
what
time
have
to-
you got for us, Mark?
What I'm going to do here is mute my mic. Is what I'm going to do. Sorry, guys. That just ruined your whole introduction. We're
Please don't play that again, Lloyd.
All over again.
We're nothing but professional on this broadcast. How many times?
If I had to guess, the
Doc is pay, Lloyd. Doc
the
is
shark
pay.
was a bit confusing for the film crew. They were like, we have got involved in an entirely different thing that we thought we were getting
What's
involved
happening
in.
here?
Yeah.
It's
This is
just
not what we signed up
inexplicable.
for.
I didn't know what to say. Hey, guys.
Now we need comfort more than ever.
Oh dear.
Come on, you can bring it. Let's do this.
Well, I have not prepared something specific because I just wanted to, it's the season finale, so I kind of wanted to just recap some of the things that we've talked about in Sherry's Comfort Corner over many live streams. We've talked about not sweating the small stuff. We've talked about how to be an effective person. We've talked about box breathing and mindfulness. We've also talked a lot about self-compassion and being kind to ourselves. And we've talked about recovering from religion at a fair extent as well. So I suppose all I just want to say to everybody is just breathe and don't be too hard on yourself. And reward yourself, commend yourself for the progress that you have made, because it's not an easy thing to recognize that a religion is not true. It's very hard, and you have combated that. You've taken that on, and that's really something to be very proud of. Congratulate yourself for that, and know that you are not alone, that we're all here for you. We've got your back. All you need to do is reach out. If you need some help and assistance, we're here for you. There's a lot of resources. There's lots of things that can be done to help you not feel alone at all. Well, this is a shared experience for many of us. So I suppose for my comfort corner tonight, it's just kind of a recap of everything and a big warm hug to everyone to say thanks so much for all of your support throughout the live streams. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in November.
A big, warm, virtual, consensual hug is what you're offering there.
A socially distanced.
Thank you.
Socially distanced with a mask.
Social distancing hug.
Well, you know,
Very social distance.
I am no longer blue, so I can just take the shirt off.
Oh! Yeah, this is not what we signed up for. Let's
Well,
be
there,
honest.
there goes strike two, Lloyd.
Are we docking points yet?
Just wait until I get out my guitar. So
Hang on, that got me a bit warm.
Has that not yet happened?
No, not this season.
No,
can we?
No.
What you mean stripping?
No, playing the guitar.
I did actually buy a guitar yesterday,
Very good.
as promised.
So did everybody watch the last episode, our Wednesday broadcast?
No.
So the O'Donnells are prepared as per usual.
Yes, but you've missed the fact that Lloyd actually went on camera and promised everybody that he would sing us an amazing song. So we're going to make sure that he honors that promise this episode.
Come on. I didn't promise an amazing song. I said I promised a song.
Was there O'Donnell banter on this week too? That you have to apologize for?
And I see what you're trying to do there, Kimmy. You're trying to get some information for a certain round in the quiz. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I won't fall for it. Eric, before we kind of move on to before the show descends basically into chaos and anarchy.
Hasn't it already?
It would just be nice to get a recap of the work that you're doing, because obviously Sherry and I were recently participating in a Zoom call and a live stream that was aimed at clearing up the whole business with Jehovah's Witnesses and what they think and do and preach. Are you able to kind of again explain the work that Recovering from Religion is doing and how you're involved in that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about that kind of stuff. I am the support group director for Recovering from Religion. Recovering from Religion's been around for over 10 years now, and it was kind of started as just a peer support group for folks who were coming out of religion. Because there's, as so many of you know, there's so much confusion and pain and trauma that comes out. And so Dr. Daryl Ray, who started it, wanted to kind of get these folks together and just hash it out, talk it through, get some empathy out there, because many of, again, as so many Jehovah's Witnesses know, you can't necessarily talk to other folks inside of the religious communities about your doubts, about your fears, about your concerns, without being directed maybe to a Bible verse or directed to pray or what have you. So this RFR was set up not to deconvert folks, but just to be there for them and meet them where they're at in their journey. So we have expanded the support groups from 10 years ago to now we're up to 53 across the world. One of which being in Sydney, Australia, where Sherry and Sasha currently are. We've also set up chats online. So you can go to the website that just kind of popped up here. You can go to the website, chat with some volunteers through Recovering from Religion, and they'll help work with you and talk with you and just be there for you when you've got these concerns. So anytime that you've got something you need to talk about with the folks, go to the chat line, and they have got a ton of resources they can direct you to. We also have phone numbers. If you don't like using the computer, call them up. We've got phone numbers across the world too. And so I've been working with Recovering from Religion for about 5 years now, and it has made me a better person because of it. Like, I kind of came in not fully, I still kind of traumatized from coming out of religion, and working as a support group director and just and as a support group leader has really helped me to get myself sorted out. Because I can talk about some of my own issues. I can also listen to some other people who have got some similar issues, and we can just talk it through and realize that we're not alone, realize that there's folks out there who are going through something similar and that can be there for us. It's been really kind of transformative for me, just even volunteering with the organization. And last April, we have started up what we're calling RFRX. Every Monday night, we bring up a topic that comes up in the helpline, like when people call in or chat, or that often comes up in the support groups, and we bring an expert on to talk about it. So we've been doing that since April. And last Monday night, Lloyd, you and Sherry were our guests for the RFRX, and we talked all about the Jehovah's Witness religion, because there are a lot of people out there who don't understand necessarily what it's like being inside, what their sets of beliefs are, nor do they understand the challenges that folks face coming out of it. So we kind of wanted to put this out to the world, to folks who don't necessarily know what all is going on. So perhaps they can have some more compassion, more understanding, more empathy for the folks who are there. And the folks who are coming out, that they can perhaps be more aware of what can occur as well. So yeah, the RFRX we had on Monday night, Lloyd and Sherry, was just fantastic. Just so
record breaking. You forgot record breaking.
Infamously record breaking. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And it was one of the first discussions that we actually streamed inside the Atheist Community of Austin Livestream, their Discord channel too. So we had a lot of people that we were able to reach. And the discussion is now up on YouTube. And we are at like 992 subscribers, and we'd love to just kind of push it over that 1,000 mark. So I'm going to do a little shameless plug, if you don't mind.
Oh, plug away. Yeah. Well, I've already said, I think that, you know, the work that you guys are doing kind of overlaps perfectly with the work that we're trying to do at JWsurvey and here on the channel. We're kind of providing people with the information they need to make informed decisions. But it's one thing to have those tools and those resources. It's another thing entirely putting it into practice,
yeah,
and resolving this kind of existential crisis of what on earth do I do now? We're not really. I mean, we do have a support function now. Thanks to Sasha, but we'll never have, or we're unlikely to have in the near future, the resources and the organization that you guys have. So we're kind of just pointing people in your direction if they
that's
aftercare.
It's fair to say too. It's fair to say too that none of us claim to be trained therapists, and we understand the role that Recovering from Religion has, particularly because your affiliate group, the Secular Therapy Project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, where we can provide peer support as friends and as people who have walked the walk, but we don't have the skills necessarily. We just have the empathy. How does the Secular Therapy Project work with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a volunteer. I'm really come from the construction background. I'm pretty much a nobody. And so all I can really offer is, I can't really even offer advice. I can just kind of share my own experiences and have empathy and compassion when I'm listening to folks' stories. And a lot of the other volunteers that we reach out to on the phone or on the chat on web, those are all just everyday people too. So when our needs go beyond what peer support can offer, like you said, Sasha, RFR has set up what we're calling the Secular Therapy Project. And I can tell you from personal experience that trying to find a therapist, especially here in the Midwest in the United States, who isn't religious, is very tough. And I felt like I spent a lot of time. I don't need to say I felt like I spent a lot of time and wasted a lot of money on therapists who would just send me home like, oh, read this Bible verse, or, oh, go pray about it more. And it helped me not at all. And so the Secular Therapy Project was set up where we have a panel of therapists who will vet applicants to make sure that they have licensing in their state or country, to make sure that they run a secular practice, which means I won't run the risk of being proselytized to, as well as to make sure that they run an evidence-based practice too. Like, they're not going to send you home with a bunch of crystals, put this on your chest and you'll feel better type of thing. So
are you saying crystals aren't good for that kind of thing, Eric? I don't think we've established that on this channel yet.
Or essential oils.
That's quite a revelation.
I did go home with a stripper named Crystal once, and that did a lot of good for me.
Seriously?
But actual minerals were not.
I have it on good authority that dilithium crystals are actually very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, decades of watching science fiction has taught me that, if nothing else.
I understand that the crystals work better under a full moon.
Yeah, you may not have been using them in the right moon cycle.
Okay.
You're laughing, but I think this is what they believe, that you leave them out overnight, and if it's a full moon, you're going to have much
or
more
on top of a
effective
pyramid.
crystals. If it's a little sliver, not so.
The less said about pyramids,
now, there you go.
The less said about pyramids, the better, or people will be accusing me of promoting Freemasonry.
You could solve coronavirus with that kind of
from
technology.
Yumari Iniestra. I also want to mention that we've had some super chats through from ADD Dad. Thank you so much. And also from Nicole Mort Parker. I've lost her comment to bring it up, but Nicole says, hi all from Florida. Thank you for doing these live streams, Lloyd. I will miss these for now, and I look forward to the new schedule of the live streams going forward. And similar to that, Yumari says, hello to all. Sorry if you already talked about this, but why is the show ending? It's not ending, it's just taking a break.
We can't afford our wages anymore. That's the real reason.
Yeah, basically, it's a little bit
We want
like
new contracts.
It's a bit like with the Friends cast. The more their popularity grows, the more the demands on my stretched budget.
Yeah.
So that's the problem in a nutshell. But no, thank you so much. Basically, yeah, it's to take a break so that I can focus on videos that I've been somewhat neglecting while doing the live stream. And also, I'm hoping that 2 months will just allow me to come back with a slightly fresh take on things and maybe spruce up the format.
Different each time. And
exactly.
Well,
and,
maybe we should have a little interim program, sort of like a little O'Donnell D'Souza on the John Redwood channel. Believe it or not, I actually have a channel and I think I have.
See what I
over-
mean? Just self-promotion.
It's self-promotion.
Who is this
The ego
person,
just
Lloyd?
goes
It's a
out of the
benefit
roof.
to you, Lloyd. I'm giving you a break. And of course, if the show becomes so popular, you may never need to do the show
good
again.
grief.
What do you think,
So,
guys?
You're just looking for a chance to win the quiz, Mark. We know what's going on.
Oh, we're going to have our own quiz, my friend.
Manipulate the
Lee
quiz.
Davenport says, "Good morning, LDLS from Indianapolis, Indiana." Thank you, Lee. Well, actually, one of the things that the 2 months will allow me to do is plot ways to make it harder for Arthur to
Cheat.
creatively engineer victories.
Answers.
That's a tough obstacle, Lloyd. I don't know how you're going to get around that because Arthur right now is plotting how to get around your new enhanced
He's
technique.
2 or 3 steps ahead. Yeah.
He
I
is.
mean, last week when Orlando goes, we can hear the keyboard.
Oh,
Anyway, before we all set upon Arthur too much in his absence,
Love you,
perhaps we
Arthur.
should all just calm down a little bit and be settled by some culture and sophistication in the form of Sasha's Poetry Corner.
Well, Mark and Kimmy missed the one last week, or from the last episode, where I gave them a little bit of a shout out. And
I can go back
Sorry.
and watch. I'll go back and watch it.
Sorry
that's
about
a-
this,
I like
everybody.
that.
Even when he's not here, he somehow finds a way of hijacking the show. Look at him.
He haunts us.
Sorry
What?
about that.
No.
Do
So,
carry on, Sasha.
So I
Sorry,
didn't
Sasha.
create
I mean,
a,
all of these introductions have gotten messed up today.
Yeah, this hasn't been our smoothest show. Trust me, people in the background filming, we usually pull this off a lot better.
Do
That's what we
we?
thought of softball last night. We're a little better.
Well, I had one on the last show that was basically the finale poem. It was saying goodbye to everybody and recounting
Oh.
some of the fun times we had, and
Yeah,
a little
watch
bit
the
of a
last show, Kimmy.
nice honourable mention for just how well Team O'Donnell does in the quiz. But I'll let you go back and watch that.
I
So
can
anyway.
get what it says.
I thought that I'd bring out one that just sums up the reason why we got together for these live streams. You know, Lloyd created this opportunity to keep people company during a year that has been characterised as being, I guess, one of the most
Armageddon.
ultras.
It's a prelude to Armageddon. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great
Yeah.
tribulation.
So we got together just to keep each other company and so on. So here's one I just want to share again from the early stages of our lockdown. Through these times of upheaval on the world stage, it's been interesting to observe both kindness and rage, to see how many people choose to respond to situations and challenges that can fracture or bond. It's evident that what's occurring leaves us all reeling as we desperately navigate the emotions we're feeling. If I'm truthfully honest, yes, I personally confess the unfolding situations have at times caused much stress. But one thing we know, yes, a given reality, is that we can be strong and regain a normality. We can look to the future with a positive vision rather than giving into fear, fights, and division. Yes, another thing we know is humanity will cope. We will move forward with confidence, positivity, and hope. So as stability returns and the world starts to normalize, let's maintain the momentum and work together to strategize. The methods we use, yes, our very modality, will bring us out the other side with a positive mentality.
It's wonderful.
Wow, that was an impressive
That was
inclusion
good.
of the word modality.
And I
was
also have a limerick,
fantastic.
Lloyd.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Kimmy's
a-
limerick. Now these have been good.
Yeah, I wrote
It's a
this one
double
in a
decker,
minute.
Sasha's
so
Poetry Corner.
don't judge me. Sasha's poetry is much better because again, like I normally do, I didn't put a lot of effort
Bit
into
of
it. So.
self-deprecation. That's fine. Okay.
Does it deal with
Maybe
the-
next season I'll put more effort into it. But okay, all right. Anyways. The live stream finale is here. The show helped us face our fear. We're no longer sad. Instead, we leave glad. Together, we will persevere.
Oh, very nice. Very
That's good.
moving and uplifting.
Very nice.
And we go
Now, Eric,
from...
you had one too.
Oh, really?
Oh gosh, can it? Do we have
No,
to
no,
do
no,
anything?
It is
It's usually-
not very clean at all. So I
I'm
think
trying to throw him under the bus. Lloyd.
You can share it after.
It's usually me who puts people on the spot. And anyway, we go from positive and uplifting to other things. So I'm not altogether sure how this is going to work. So bear with me. I don't have a great track record in playing these screen shares, but hopefully this will work. This is Arthur's pre-recorded sing-along with Arthur.
Oh my God, it's 5 minutes.
So let's hit it, guys. Musica maestro.
Oh no.
My ears are already hurting. Oh, that's a shame. Oh.
I call out to my almighty God. Can you help me, Jehovah? I'm afraid I am losing my faith, and the slave you have chosen. I've had doubts for over a year, thus I started to research. Found a channel while surfing the web, heard a message from Cedars. Oh, things like
He really hits those notes.
oh, man. Never get you into paradise. Oh, think twice.
No air drums yet.
Cause this cup will never get you.
This is like professionally produced, isn't it?
Just think about it.
this is what he does at concerts.
I delve deep into JW facts, and my heart starts to rejoice, and my mind now freely reacts. Leaving cults is a smart choice. Oh, think twice, cause this cult will never get you into paradise. Oh, think twice, cause this cult will never get you into paradise.
Look at that face.
Think about it.
He's so serious. I love it. Always the professional.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, he keeps going.
Oh, he's going for those notes.
so much more each of us can do. Oh, boy. Our voices must be heard.
Yeah, Renato's digging it.
Oh, he's
He's a
digging it.
professional.
Oh, I'm digging it.
See from the scars of my soul. You can see that
Man,
I've
right,
been
throw it out.
there. Doubts and thorough research helped me.
I've had to remove my
I'm so
headphones.
this week.
That I
Because
didn't fit in there.
He does.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's put some work into this. I gotta hand it to Arthur.
just this couple
And I think he's got a new
Doing
headset.
live-
Did he get a new?
highlights
No.
Oh,
Did Arthur get a new microphone?
Just goes to show I'm paying him too much.
That's probably his professional, like, screen for
I
recording
think we
music.
need Arthur on the John Redwood channel.
Again.
There you go,
self-promotion.
plugging the John Redwood channel again.
Kimmy, what do you think it's going to cost us to get Arthur Weber on?
You can't
I
afford
mean,
him.
you're a
I don't even
Weber.
care about the
I know, let's just make the call. Well, Weber's been
Oh, sorry, we're missing a bit of air drums there.
Arthur's people.
Hang on.
I can't do it.
So leave this zone.
Hang on. We did get some air drums there. I'm
Oh, no.
determined.
Did we?
I was talking over it.
Okay.
I'm determined that the world is not deprived those air drums.
Okay,
Okay.
On the
let's
final
rewind to the
episode.
eardrums.
I mean, there's technique there. Say what you will,
Yeah, you're right.
but there's some real technique in those wrists.
Leave this zone. Freedom is on paradise.
I mean, there's passion.
Leave this zone.
There's a minute more.
Freedom is
There's a deftness of wrist.
paradise. So leave this zone.
So yeah, that was certainly
So good. When is he
A
coming out with
performance.
this album?
It's like an earworm, right? We'll be singing it all day.
I do worry that the internet is now completely broken by what we've just beheld.
Well, you must be struck for
Okay, okay.
We're
so
just
now
bringing our
you-
A game to
Were you
the
playing
feed.
that off of a private channel, or can we send listeners to that amazing performance so they can see it for themselves?
It needs to be available, doesn't it? It can't just be available.
That was just an
on-
unlisted link that he sent you, right, Lloyd? So you could
Oh
play
yeah,
it today.
yeah. I'm going to push for that to be available somewhere. Just
We
not
need to do
on-
an actual like music video with that, right? Like
We do. Renato, as our resident professional, surely you saw some skill there.
I guess.
Brutal as always.
No,
Brutal.
no,
Politically
no,
correct
It
answer.
was really good. It was really good. Yeah.
You remember
Lots
he's
of,
watching right now, so be careful.
Lots of super chats coming in.
Well, the Raven TreeFrog liked it.
Well
Hey,
done.
where's my treat money, Lloyd, from last week?
My
cat
it's
treat
pending.
money.
It's pending. That's from Raven TreeFrog. We have Annika P, a super sticker. We have a very big super chat from Becky.
Wow, that's
I am
great.
going to miss the last day's live stream. Wow, thank you very much
It's
for
only
your
temporary,
generous
Becky.
support.
Only temporary. We'll be
Yeah,
back.
we'll be back in 2 months. And we also have Micah Cernkovich. This was worth at least bucks.
Well, that's got to go to Arthur then, technically, right?
Well,
This is-
frankly, given
might
his
at least
lavish
spend
spending on a professional microphone, I do worry that I'm paying him too much already.
I'll have to get a cat too at some point to say goodbye.
yeah.
Now,
Season finale.
can we just get this over with? Because I bought a guitar.
Okay. Let's do it.
Get this over with.
More self-deprecating.
So can I just give them a bit of a lead-in of how this came about?
Yeah,
Lloyd?
please do, Sasha. While I get set up, you do that.
All right. So we were chatting last Wednesday on the broadcast, and Arthur and I decided that there's been far too much culture in the form of my attempt at poetry and Arthur's songs. So we thought it was time that our gracious host gave us a performance. So he wandered upstairs, he got his guitar, and unfortunately the guitar bridge was broken, so he was unable to conveniently perform.
How
So,
convenient.
Yeah. But he's promised us a reprise of one of his very well-known songs that really sums up life as a Jehovah's Witness and the doctrines of Jehovah's Witnesses and how they're never wrong on things. Is that a good enough lead-in for you, Lloyd?
That was expert, Sasha. You'll end up hosting this show if I'm not careful.
We've done the job.
Taking my
right
job.
Here we go, baby.
That's actually quite
That's a-
a smart-looking
That's
guitar.
a
there.
nice
It's all
guitar.
right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That
I
was
don't
very
think-
nice, Lloyd.
I literally had like a few seconds of practice on this yesterday, and I wanted to do more, but I ran out of time. So we'll just see how this goes. Good things, bad things, good things, bad things, it's still the truth. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and I'm here to tell you all, if you don't want birds to eat you, join your congregation soon call.
Oh, a remix.
I know we have our scandals with child abuse and blood, but we also have Jehovah's hand to make the badness good. 'Cause when good things happen, it's the truth, and when bad things happen, it's the truth, and when good and bad things happen at the same time, that's your clearest proof that it's Jehovah God's clean organization, providing your obedient dedication. I saw it in the yearbook, we've grown by 1.3%. This proves Jehovah's Witnesses are truly heaven sent. And if the numbers start to fall, there is no need to scoff. The love of the greater number is expected to cool off. You see, when good things happen, it's the truth, and when bad things happen, it's the truth, and when good and bad things happen at the same time, that's your clearest proof that it's Jehovah God's clean organization, providing your obedient dedication. I went to the convention and saw the local news. God's smart and happy people were all getting rave reviews. The next day some reporter was calling us a cult. It's blatant persecution and I know it's Satan's fault. 'Cause when good things happen, it's the truth, and when bad things happen, it's the truth, and when good and bad things happen at the same time, that's your clearest proof that it's Jehovah God's clean organization, requiring your obedient dedication. We've had some dodgy people, we've had some evil men, but God loved David and Solomon, he didn't get rid of them. But if the Catholic Church keeps paedophiles safe and secure, that means it's false religion, Satan's scarlet-coloured whore. 'Cause when good things happen, it's the truth, and when bad things happen, it's the truth, and when good and bad things happen at the same time, that's your clearest proof that it's Jehovah God's clean organization, requiring your obedient dedication. Perhaps this logic can be used by any other creed, but I love my lovely leaders, 'cause why would they lie to me? And when apostates tell me my evidence is naught, I stick my head right in the sand and think some happy thoughts. 'Cause when good things happen, it's the truth, and when bad things happen, it's the truth, and when good and bad things happen at the same time, that's your clearest proof this Jehovah God's clean organization, requiring your obedient dedication, requiring your obedient dedication.
Very nice, Lloyd.
That is literally the first time I have played in years. I'm not exaggerating, so I apologize.
That was awesome.
That was really, really good.
My guitar, I don't even know where it's at.
I don't even have paradise. It's like you and me are in paradise.
That was brilliant.
So it seems like we've got some updated lyrics.
Yeah,
I
like
did
the Zoom
update the
call.
lyrics.
Yeah,
The
you did
Zoom
update
call,
those
yeah. I
lyrics.
just didn't sing it very well, but yes,
The
those were updated
the
lyrics.
comments are exploding right now, Lloyd. You can't even keep up with it.
He doesn't have a producer. That's the problem.
I don't have a producer, but I'll hope that at least some of them are positive. Lots
all
of
of
chat.
them.
Okay,
All of them
all
are
of them are okay.
positive.
Wonderful. Smash up that guitar on stage. No, I need to keep this one. That's the whole problem. I've already ruined one guitar.
That was brilliant. And doesn't that just well illustrate what all religions say? If you get a good report from the media, God's blessing. If you get a bad report, apostate propaganda. You
Indeed.
did that so well.
Yeah, I actually intended that to be the first of like a series of songs that I called them Alternative Kingdom Melodies, to kind of make fun of the whole Jehovah's Witness religion. But I only got past the first one, and I never did a second. I did have a second one in mind, but it just never came to fruition.
You have to do one per season.
Indeed. Thanks to JWsurvey, another massively generous super chat. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. So I don't know whether that's for Arthur or me, but I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it as mine. So,
Renato, can you give us in your tried and true sportscasters review, how would you sum up the performances you've heard tonight?
Well, I feel like Arthur was the warm up to like the superstar. That was.
Renato, you can come back. You can come back.
Why do you think I'm doing this, Lloyd?
Actually, he's coming to Mark's channel too. Off season.
One thing that Mark's channel does not have, though, it may have Mark and it may have his unworldly good looks. But one thing it absolutely does not have is this.
As one brother put it, stay alive to 75.
Yes, hello and welcome to the final last day's quiz of season 1. The ultimate, some would say only real noticeable battle of minds, as two teams of today's panelists face off against each other to prove their knowledge of this show, and Jehovah's Witness Doomsday Dogma.
Start docking points, Lloyd.
You're insubordinating already?
Yes, Mark is in a rebellious mood.
We want some points taken away in advance.
I said, look, before we even start, just take 10 points off the board from the get-go. That way I can insubordinate all I want. We don't have to worry about, like, Renato getting out the calculator.
Shocking attitude. Shocking attitude.
Since Arthur's not here, I'm going to get my cell phone out and pull up the comments.
So for Eric, who hasn't witnessed this, you better give him a rundown, or any new viewers.
Oh, Eric's a fan of the show. Eric knows all about everyone knows about the last day's quiz. This is a thing, Sasha.
Mark and I are going to win this quiz. We have a better record than the D'Souza's.
Here to tell us all about records is our resident professional, Renato Gonçalves. Renato, what can you tell us?
Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to the final edition of the last day's quiz in season 1. Before we begin a war of intellect,
it is a war of intellect.
Exactly. To find out who is the person with the most knowledge of completely outrageous Watchtower material.
Not this man, it seems. Yeah, go on.
Well, that was a dig. That was man.
Although I still lost last week without Mark, so.
Since Arthur isn't here, we have to find somebody else. And let's update a little bit of the numbers. So we've had 11 editions of the last day's quiz so far, and Arthur's Knights have 9 wins. 9.
Wow.
Including the last 6 in a row.
Which were all legitimate wins without any cheating whatsoever.
Sure.
Yeah, very legitimate.
I got to hand it to Arthur. He's just gotten better and better at cheating. It's tough to go up against that.
Shocking.
He has perfected the art.
He is unsubordinating, unfortunately. I do apologize, viewers. Carry on, Renato.
And in second place, as they always are, is Team O'Donnell.
Oh.
They have 2 wins.
Hang on. If Arthur's on 9, surely Team O'Donnell are on like 8 or 7.
No, they're on 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, and it's 2 out of 9. So that's how bad their record is. 2 out of 9. They've lost the last 6 in a row. And
is there a third place?
Oh, there is a third place.
Is there a last place?
So if Team O'Donnell are on 2 in second place, then probably third place has got 1 victory at least.
Oh no, Team D'Souza has 0 wins.
0.
Would you call that
We're
last
going to
place?
turn it around tonight.
That's because we were lucky with Arthur's
Actually, yes, I'm going to claim some of Arthur's Knight's victories because we were actually on his
Not
team.
how it works,
there
I'm
were a few
afraid. Not
There
how
were
it
a few weeks
works.
where they won because
You
Sasha
literally-
legitimately knew the lyrics.
I
But Arthur
think-
would have gotten the lyrics out of the comments section anyway, so.
Yeah.
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 I think at least 3 or 4 victories should go to Team D'Souza, which would even the board.
But anyway, I do apologise, viewers. My panelists are again insubordinating and leading the show down a path I cannot follow them with. But suffice to say, in today's quiz, there will be 2 teams: Team O'Donnell versus Team D'Souza. Team D'Souza with a chance at the final death of the season to salvage a little bit of dignity with a win.
Oh boy!
Are there prizes?
The prize is to not forfeit the penalty.
And do we have penalties tonight as well? Yes.
We do have.
Remember,
You know how this works, Sasha. You know how this works.
If we
It's
lose,
the same
those
as always.
penalties are going to be recorded on film with whatever Mark has to do. So.
Just a quick reminder of the rules. You get
Thank
docked
you, Renato.
penalties. You get docked points, for the following infractions. Half a point for insubordination. And if I was counting that, Team O'Donnell have like minus 50 by now.
Yeah.
I like that.
Minus 1 point for influencing the other team, trying to get in their head, talking while they're answering, stuff like that. And minus 2 points, which is also known as the Arthur Weber rule, for typing
Reasonable
on a
suspicion
keyboard,
of cheating.
for loudly typing on a keyboard.
I'm not cheating.
So those are the rules.
Okay. So, without further ado, Renato, could you toss a coin for us? Do you mind being the tosser for this for this show?
You could say that's the story of my life.
Is your mom going to come past today?
I hope not.
Renato's mom.
She's not here today, unfortunately. So, who wants heads or tails? How does this work? Who calls it?
Arthur.
So, actually,
He's on a bicycle right now.
let's ask Team D'Souza. Do you want heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads.
Heads, okay.
Okay, here we go. It is heads.
Okay, so Team D'Souza, you are going first as we go into
That's
the
rigged.
first
I don't think
round.
we've ever won a coin toss.
This is, I'm going to say it, it's my favourite round. It's the one and only round, really, in which I derive immense satisfaction.
You trying to
if
go
I
out on a
manage
bang,
to-
Lloyd?
And I want to go out on a bang, yeah. So, Team D'Souza, I am going to refer you to, where is it? One of Joseph Rutherford's final publications.
Oh, I know it well.
End of Axis Powers, Comfort All That Mourn.
Oh.
And I have obviously been reading it. It's a fascinating publication. Unfortunately, no longer available in anywhere, in fact.
You don't have a copy, Mark?
I could go pull one off the shelf. but
Anywhere
I'd
that
be
this
accused
is
of cheating.
available, Watchtower will probably try and sue
so we
them
do have
to stop
one.
it from being available. But in any case, I'm going to read 3 quotes, one of which was not in this because I wrote it. So you need to tell me which
Devilishly good at this, Lloyd.
is fake.
Okay,
Quote. Sorry,
so
go on,
before,
Renato.
before this, 2 things. Lloyd has managed to fool both teams with the fake quote 5 weeks in a row.
Fake Watchtower quotes.
Arthur just said in the comments that he's rooting for Team D'Souza. So I'm really worried what's going to happen. What's going to show up in Team D'Souza's monitor doing the quiz. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, can I just ask
we've got
both
no
teams? Both teams do not have live chat open, and the usual Arthur rules about cheating.
You know
so anyway,
we don't cheat.
So The End of Axis Powers, Comfort All That Mourn, published in 1941. I'm going to read 3 quotes. One of them was not in that booklet because I wrote it. Quote number 1. The facts are indisputable and therefore admitted that the Nazis, fascists, and the mightiest religious organization on earth, acting together and designated as the Axis powers, now rule from Norway to Egypt, and within that realm the people mourn. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. The present is the worst of times, because of the wicked rule. By faith we see the wicked rule now coming to an end. The present, therefore, is the best of times till now, because we see the theocratic government is coming in. That's quote number 2. And quote number 3. The Mohammedans, Jews and Catholics, together with all other religionists, have brains but are not free to use them. Satan leads them with cunning words designed to entice their emotions. God's people, meanwhile, know only the facts and are not afraid to pronounce them.
Oh.
So, which quote is fake? Is it quote 1, 2, or 3?
Lloyd's bringing out the big guns.
I
That's weird.
cannot see Lloyd being brave enough to make up number 3
I
because
agree.
we don't want that on
That's
record
so
for saying
insane.
something like
That's
that.
way too insane.
And knowing what Rutherford was like, he was known to be very judgmental.
I reckon it's 2.
I reckon 2. I reckon one sounds.
A bit too legit.
What's his poker face? Is he giving anything away? No, look at that. Look at that. Look at the face of an angel. He's not giving away anything. Okay.
He hears that all the time, face of an angel.
Hmm.
No, it's number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
I'm happy if you're happy with
Number
that.
2.
Number 2 is the fake one that you made up.
Lock it in. Is that your final answer? Yes, it is.
Ooh.
That's
Team
minus,
D'Souza. Sorry, go on, Renato.
that's minus half a point for insubordination.
Team D'Souza, I am
It's not
taking
my
as
fault. It's the woman that you gave me.
Wow.
Give it to her.
Wow.
order.
Come on, Renato.
I am taking as your final answer number 2, and I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. It was number 3.
Lloyd, you know that
Oh,
was
proud of
crazy.
yourself for writing that.
You were channeling your inner Rutherford. Wow.
I'm good at it. What can I say? I'm good at it. So
Wow.
we move on to Team O'Donnell, who now must run the gauntlet in the round they wouldn't write that. And now we turn to, oh gosh, that's full on the floor. We turn to the year 1958 and the well-known booklet. I know what you're all thinking. You've all guessed already. God's Kingdom Rules, Is the World's End Near?
I was reading that this morning. So
1958. I'm sure you were. It's required reading, I think, for anyone who...
Yeah, it's the daily text. You could say.
If you're interested in God's Kingdom ruling, this is the book to read. I'm sorry.
we
Say
have
what you
it,
will.
so.
Oh, I know he does.
So this is
So-
going to be a quote from Rutherford, but he wrote it after he died.
Okay. No, this was from the Nor period. But in any case,
Like my story better.
I'm going to read 3 quotes. I'm going to read 3 quotes, and you need to tell me which one is fake. Quote
All right.
number 1. This generation of humankind is nearing its normal end. Jesus prophesied that this generation, which saw the Gentile times end amid World War I and the beginning of world sorrows, would also see the end of those sorrows in the world's destruction at Armageddon. We know not the day or hour, but the world's end is near. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. Scientists estimate that the end of the world by nuclear war is a foregone conclusion. They sow fear and uncertainty among those who indulge their worldly wisdom, but Jehovah's way is not one of fear and gloom over some pending annihilation of our planetary home. He gives assurance through his word that the earth will forever be inhabited by men of peace and goodwill. That's quote number 2. And quote number 3. Let us free our minds of the religious lies of Christendom's clergy and the theoretical lies of the modern-day scientists, that the end of this world means the end of the earth on which we live, and the end of the sun, moon, and stars that give us light from heaven. So which of those quotes is fake? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
I think he wrote 3, Mark.
Definitely 4.
4 is definitely.
Guys,
big.
Yeah, the first one was kind of long, and it had to do with Armageddon, and I feel that could go either way because I think Lloyd could have easily written number 1, but it could also easily have been from the booklet. Okay, so that's a coin toss.
Wait, I apologize. You know he's going to have you reread it.
Second one.
I know. It takes ages.
Well, what we'll do is we'll have you reread the one that Kimmy thinks is the fake quote, so you don't have to read the other two, if we may oblige.
Which one's that?
3.
Number 3.
You want me to reread 3?
Please.
Let us free our minds of the religious lies of Christendom's clergy and the theoretical lies of the modern-day scientists that the end of this world means the end of the earth on which we live and the end of the sun, moon, and stars that give us light from heaven.
So my question, Kimmy, is the theoretical lies of scientists. What was that? Just that second phrase, Lloyd, where it's start with theoretical. lies.
I'm reading it a third time now.
No. Just that sentence. Theoretical lies. Start with that.
Can you take points off me now?
Don't read the whole
first. It's all one sentence. Let us free our minds of the religious lies of Christendom's clergy and the theoretical lies of the modern-day scientists. That the end of this world means the end of the earth on which we live and the end of the sun, moon, and stars that give us light from heaven.
It can't be that. It's longer than the booklet itself.
Yeah. They all are.
I don't know. I think it's 3. I don't know what you feel, Mark. You can pick whichever.
I don't know. Do you think that Lloyd would have made up the word planetary? That was number 2.
I do apologize, Eric.
But you see,
this
have
routinely
to
happens.
Eric, you have to understand, Eric, that Lloyd has gotten good at this to the point where he is throwing in words just to throw us off, right? So
Okay. I'll let you choose, Mark. But remember, our self-esteem isn't tied up in this quiz.
It's called having fun. So as long as you're laughing. Okay, so we'll go with your gut feeling, Kimmy, on that number 3. That we feel that may be.
Yeah, and my gut's always wrong, so feel free to change it. But we feel as a team that item number 3 may indeed be the fake quote written by Lloyd Evans. However, we reserve the right to change our answer at any time, including after we are told.
Team O'Donnell, I'm taking as your final answer. Quote number 3.
I think season 2 needs to have a time limit, or you get points deducted.
That was like That was like Arthur's introduction to his songs.
That's how bad it's getting. That's how bad it's getting. I'm taking as your final answer. Quote number 3, and I'm here to tell you your answer is incorrect.
Okay, so
he's a watchtower.
Man, was it 2, Lloyd? Was it 2?
I'm saying number 1. I think it was number 1.
I thought you were going with 2, Mark.
I thought you were going
No. Because planetary, I think, may have been in the booklet.
Okay.
And number 1 was long.
Did you write
Still
one,
at it,
Lloyd?
isn't he? He's still at it.
Which one did you write, Lloyd?
Thank you, Renato. Honestly, I'm
6 weeks in a row.
I'm amazed at my own brilliance with
Which
this.
one did you write, Lloyd?
I wrote number 2.
Okay, so you would have been wrong again. Also,
Yeah, you're right. So that you did that.
Wow,
That's
Lloyd, you're
why
really
I
good at
asked
writing
you about the
Watchtower
word.
rhetoric.
So Lloyd, tell us the story behind planetary. I thought that was a good line.
So we move on to the next
I'm giving
round
you
of
credit
the
for
last
your
day's
work.
quiz, which is Songs of Doom.
And submitting it, Lloyd. You know.
All right. Here we go.
Do you want an update on the scores?
Oh yeah, sorry. An
Because it's
update on the scores, please.
How many negative points? Or not?
So, because this is Team D'Souza against Team O'Donnell, these are the scores so far. Team O'Donnell has the lead with 0 points, and Team D'Souza is in second with minus half a point.
Minus half a point.
That's unbelievable.
Already a lead emerging of half a point between the two.
It might be the first quiz won with 0 points.
Quite astonishing.
It could be. We could win with 0 points, right?
I mean, you would expect Team O'Donnell to be behind on insubordination deductions, wouldn't you? To be honest.
The game is early.
All right, Come on, let's do it. We can bring this back.
All right.
So, Team D'Souza, you're up first.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm just trying. This is the one
Are
thing
you
that I
not
haven't had
prepared,
time to
Lloyd?
prepare for. Sorry.
Which segment are we doing now?
The singing one. Song.
Okay, so Team D'Souza, finish the lyric.
Sorry, we just lost our ears.
Then, are you there? Then let's go forth, bravely press on, advancing truth be our light.
Oh, that's
It was written in the 80s, right? Because they were talking about press-ons.
Eric knows his stuff. He knows his stuff, Eric.
Just throw me.
Do you want me to sing it, D'Souza's?
No.
Sure. We'll never pass up the opportunity for the voice of an angel.
Then let's go forth. Sorry. Then let's go forth, bravely press on, advancing truth be our light. Oh, what's happening here?
Normally, these are my go-to.
Blank.
Something Jehovah and something. I honestly, I don't know. Lloyd's gonna know.
That's crazy because we used to sing these songs all the time.
Yeah, it's going to really annoy us as soon as we hear it.
Isn't it always like light and hope?
Probably going crazy over this. I cannot remember this one.
In that case, it goes to, I'm afraid, Team O'Donnell. Can you
Or
remember
do
the
you know the
lyric?
lyrics?
Thus says Jehovah, I'll strengthen and help you.
It could be right.
Can you give me more?
Thus says Jehovah, I'll strengthen and help you. Something for truth and for light.
I'm going to give you that. It's Battle for Truth and for Right
Battle
at
for
the
Truth.
end.
Wow,
So,
Mark.
well done, Team O'Donnell.
Well done.
Remember,
O'Donnell.
I left when I was in the Gray songbook, so next season we're gonna have to sing some of the new
I
ones.
think that was from the pink one too. I think that's really.
Yeah,
So we move to Team O'Donnell for their question,
We can still
which is from, well, I won't tell you what it's from, but just complete the lyric. I don't have to give you this
You just tell us the
information.
title; it might help us.
Jehovah our rock, our strength and our might, your name we make known both day and night.
You got this, whatever you.
Lloyd, would you sing it?
Day and night.
Jehovah our rock, our strength and our might, your name we make known both day and night.
I like Arthur's better.
Wait, now,
Muting Eric.
can you take points away from Eric?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah. Your name. That was the last part. Was your name we make known both day and night.
I got nothing. It was almost there, and then Eric threw in that statement.
I am switching it to Team D'Souza. Seems only fair since they lost theirs.
Just going to say a quick prayer to see if that will help jolt my memory.
Doesn't look like they know it either.
Oh, I don't know if I've mixed another song with that.
I think the last song messed us up.
Glorious. I get glorious.
Glorious
as well.
Jehovah, and the last few words are something about might. No, it's just truth and for right.
No, that was the last one.
Yeah, you had the first two words, but I'm afraid I can't. We're gonna have to move on. The lyric
Start giving the
goes.
first couple.
The lyric goes, "Glorious Jehovah, Almighty in power, you are our hiding place. You are our."
Yeah.
So we move
Yeah, we should have
to
gotten that one.
Team.
Oh, yeah,
O-
thanks, Mark.
Is it Team O'Donnell's turn now?
It is
Susan.
Team O'Donnell's
Yeah.
turn.
It's Team on.
No,
it's Team D'Souza.
Oh no, wait, I'm all
Sorry, Team
confused.
D'Souza. Yeah.
Oh, D'Souza.
Team D'Souza. Thank you, Renato. So Team D'Souza,
Oh, okay,
complete the
yeah,
lyric.
it's Steele. Okay, that's right.
God's voice keeps on calling, "Oh, walk in the way." the way that Jehovah has shown us today.
This is song number 42, I think.
Okay.
Let's all go have a roll in the hay.
You're not helping, Eric.
It's only fair. He helped me lose the lyric in my brain.
Do you need me to sing it?
Yeah.
Sure.
God's voice keeps on calling, go walk in the way that Jehovah has shown us today.
He has a fine channel that's surely unique, and through it he chooses to warn and to speak.
Correct. Well
Good
done.
job.
Congratulations.
I knew that one. Great job, you guys.
You are certifiably in need of help because you have cult lyrics in your brain.
Good job.
You know, Eric, we grew up singing this stuff 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh man, and it just
And then-
sits there.
Yeah,
It did, but most of the time it's gone, so which is a good thing.
Every
It's
time
funny
you
when we
cut your heads open, we would see the lyrics etched along the writing tissue.
Okay, so Team O'Donnell.
Ready.
Right on.
Jehovah our Father in heaven, oh this is a most sacred
the
night.
memorial song there.
I'm pulling out the big
'Twas
guns now.
nice in 14 when his glory
Glory
was
was
seen.
seen.
His justice, truth, wisdom, and might.
Slightly wrong, but I'm going to give it to you. 'Twas nice and 14 when your glory was seen, your justice, love, wisdom, and
Love,
might.
wisdom,
well
and
done.
might.
Love.
Congratulations, you get the points there. We move back
Considering
to...
that one was only sung maybe a couple of times a year, you guys did very well.
So, but no, more than that, Sasha, because that is so for Eric's benefit, that is the memorial song that previously was sung at every memorial. But they also ran it through the normal cycle of songs too. So we would hear that. I don't know how many times a year, but
Not
they,
as much
they
as
would
the
run
rest.
it at other times, right?
Yeah.
Safe to say, Eric is freaked out by how much we remember these songs. So we move back to Team D'Souza. Complete the lyric. Jehovah is our refuge, our God in whom we trust. If you need me to sing it, I will do.
Jehovah is our
We'll
refuge.
never say no to him singing it. Come on.
No,
Sasha
Sherry's
loves
singing
his
it there.
voice.
Okay.
Yeah, Sherry knows it.
10,000 at his right hand. No, I'm
No.
stuffing that up completely. This was one I actually really liked.
Really?
Yeah.
Snappy little tune.
Can you sing it for us, Lloyd?
No, I've got the right tune.
Jehovah is our refuge, our God in whom we trust.
I still go to 10,000 at your right hand.
Yeah, you're stuck on a different verse,
Yeah,
it
Am I
seems,
stuck?
so I'm going to
Oh.
go
I'm in the
to...
same song, but I'm on a different verse. That's
I'm going
great.
to switch it over to Team O'Donnell to see
Go
if they
for it,
can
Mark. Go for
finish it.
Jimmy.
What was it? Jehovah is our refuge, our strength.
No.
What is
Our
it?
God
please
in
do it
whom we
again.
trust.
Our God in whom we trust.
His
Uh,
shadow is our helper. Is that a real line in that song? Spirit.
Found the good one this week, Lloyd.
I am going to put you both out of your misery. It's his shadow is our shelter. Abide in it we must.
Abide
I
in it.
got the first part, his shadow.
Yeah, you were getting it, Timmy.
I was like, I know it's not our helper. What is it? It was shelter. So if I remembered shelter, I would have gotten the rest of the song. Don't I get a quarter of a point,
Yeah.
Lloyd, for getting that part right?
You get a quarter of a point.
I got his
You
shadow
get-
is our correct.
You get minus half a point for insubordination.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Deducting points.
Renato. I thought, oh, come on.
That's not insubordination when you're asking.
Team O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm
I think is this the final question, Renato? I think it is for this round.
Yes.
Yeah. Complete the lyric. Jehovah God is my shepherd, so why should I fear or fret?
Would you please sing it, Lloyd?
Jehovah God is my shepherd, so why should I fear or fret?
In grassy pastures, no, it's a 23rd Psalm song, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's based on Psalm 23. Can we can you do the first part of it again? Do you
remember it? What was it again, Lloyd? I forgot that.
I'm going to move it along to, because we need to move along to the next round.
Right.
I'm going to move it across to Team D'Souza.
So I'm just going to come out with what I think it is.
Do it.
So why should I fear or fret? That's all I got.
Okay, it was a bit of a hard one, in fairness. For he who cares for his sheep so much will none of his own forget.
Oh,
So,
no idea.
perhaps
that's
Renato
right.
can give us an update on the scores at the end of that round.
Yeah, so after 2 rounds, Team O'Donnell remaining the lead with 3.5 points. While Team D'Souza remains in second place with 1.5 points.
Thank you for that update.
That's not.
Impressive, isn't it?
I'm glad the season.
I think the whole point of this live stream is to come together and have fun. And
Micah
we're
says, as much
doing,
as
right?
this is giving me PTSD, I actually really loved this song. Thank you there, Micah. Sorry for, triggering people, quite frankly.
Well, Arthur's not here to do it, so.
Exactly.
But there is something about like singing in groups where it just feels good. It's like so mesmerizing to us. And
That was always my thing.
Yeah.
I'm a singer, and I always loved to sing. I would lead the congregation. You would get all those emotions. And so for me, after I left, my big thing was I was always still triggered, but I couldn't listen to any of the songs.
One of my abiding memories, actually, of the annual conventions, which were normally held in sports arenas and still are when there aren't pandemics, because I used to work for the chairman's office department and guide the speakers down to the platform. And down at the platform, you'd then be completely surrounded on all sides by thousands of your fellow believers. Yeah. And I remember one song in particular, We Thank You, Jehovah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like anthemic, like an anthem song.
Oh, it was.
And when you're down on the event floor, surrounded by this barrage of noise, thundering out this song, We Thank You, Jehovah, it was extremely moving.
Yeah, it was goosebumps.
For most people, it would send chills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and those shared called experiences, you know, what kind
in
of
fact, that was the song always used whenever they completed, for example, a quick build. And back in the early days when we were in the 80s and 90s, when we started building those 3-day builds, and by Sunday, you had hundreds of people in the building, and they had their first meeting after starting with a concrete slab. Sunday, it was a completed building, carpet, chairs, sound system, the whole thing. And then they culminated it by singing We Thank You, Jehovah. And it was a real emotional experience to feel like we all contributed to that, and that God was blessing it. So
well, you know what it is now though, Mark. We thank you, Jehovah, for letting us build those kingdom halls in 3 days so that we could now sell them off and pocket all of the assets that we're using.
Anyway,
well said, Team D'Souza.
We move on. If you remember, I labored on the point that one of the key elements of the Battle of Minds is for contestants to prove their knowledge of this show and Jehovah's Witness Doomsday Dogma, to test our panelists on their knowledge of this show. We now have the round Out of Context, where panelists will tell me who said what in our last show. So we start off with Team D'Souza. Team D'Souza, who said the following?
Lloyd, can you sing it for us?
Who laughed?
So it's basically a golf, is what you're saying.
Right. Knowing definitely what the conversation was about. That was said by one host of the show, Mr. Lloyd Evans, as he insulted my car. So yes, lock it away.
Okay, you get the points for that one. The coin toss was kind for you there,
It
Team
was.
D'Souza. And we move along to Team O'Donnell. Team O'Donnell, who said the following. You don't know, but you might as well guess. You don't have to know what to say. It's just feel with your heart, and that will tell you what words to say. Who said that?
Can you sing it for us, Lloyd?
Yeah. I don't know, so I'll go Sasha because we're just guessing. So.
Oh, that's a shame. Mark's muted. And it wasn't even me this time.
Mark, are you muted? Yeah, I hear talking in the other room.
This is from Wednesday's program.
Yes, Mark.
Yes, we
Okay.
get
We're
it.
just
He's really
guessing.
behind at this point, isn't he?
I don't even remember what you just said.
So I'll just go Sasha. Final
Okay,
answer. so we
final
can move
answer,
along.
Sasha. You are incorrect. It was actually Sherry.
Oh, man.
If aficionados of Sherry's Comfort Corner are well aware that that's who said what.
Shouldn't we have had the chance to guess that and win a point?
That's
That's not
minus
this
half
round.
a point for insubordination.
You know
Oh,
better. Sasha knows how to do
Renato showing no mercy there with the point deductions. We move back to Team D'Souza, who said the following. There are a couple of YouTube channels that do it and do a good job.
What's with the voices?
I'm trying to make it entertaining.
That's such an innocuous comment. I can't remember.
Oh, Arthur? No.
How the-
No. Renato.
Renato. You're
Yes.
right. Renato.
Yes, when you were speaking about activist channels.
Is that your final answer?
Is that our
Now
final
I'm
answer?
doubting.
I don't know. You make the final
No,
decision.
no, because then there was a conversation. It might have been more.
Let's not do it,
I
Mark.
think they
Come on,
caught
quick
Mark's
answer.
disease.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Renato.
you're still deciding.
Oh, yeah, right.
Correct, it was Renato.
Hey, we got a point. We just got a point.
We move on to Team O'Donnell for the final question of this round. And then the fanny pack of facts beckons. Team O'Donnell, who said the following. If you do need information, contact support at blah, blah, blah.
Sasha.
Yes.
Kimmy, who
We'll go with
Who else?
Sasha this time because it was Sherry last time, and Sasha is in charge of support. So, like, he may
would anybody else have been on the show?
Well, I think Sasha would have plugged support because he's done that before.
Yeah, but somebody's making a joke. Maybe Sasha said that, and then like Arthur came on and said blah blah blah.
Was it? Is blah 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 really part of the quote, Lloyd?
Yes, that was very much part of the quote. That
Oh, then
wasn't
it's
just
not
me
Sasha.
speeding through.
That's
Yeah.
why it's funny.
Yeah,
Okay, then it wasn't. I don't know.
right. So it's probably not the D'Souza's, and it's probably. So was
Lloyd.
Renato on the show?
If you'd
Yeah, but I don't
watched,
think Renato
you would
would
know.
have done that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Lloyd's the sarcastic one, so
Would he have blah 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 or?
yeah, he may have. So I think
I think it's not
it.
the D'Souza's.
God.
Mark, just guess. Go with
It's not like
It's probably somebody that we don't know that was on this show. So
All right,
I
we'll
don't
just
know.
go Lloyd because final answer. Who cares? Just puts us out of our misery, right? Because we don't know.
How about Renato? You want to go with Renato?
I can go with Lorenzo. I just don't imagine he would be sarcastic and say blah blah blah. But
Why
perhaps I'm
wouldn't he?
wrong.
This is amazing.
Because he's a nice
It is,
guy.
They
Lloyd doesn't care
really,
about
really
people.
overthink things, and it costs them points, frankly.
It's not me. I'm not the overthinker. in the
Okay,
relationship.
so we're gonna go with Kimmy's gut instinct is that Lloyd said it.
I'm going to take
It was
as your
Renato.
final answer, Lloyd said it, and I'm here to tell you your
was
answer
Renato.
is incorrect. It was Kim Silvio.
She said blah, blah, blah like that.
She did say blah, blah, blah.
I guess we should have at least checked to see who was on the program.
Yeah, if we at least knew it was on the program.
On that
It's like a
subject, Renato, can you
built-in
just
penalty.
explain the significance of actually following the show and being remotely interested in the last day's live stream in being successful in this round of the quiz?
Well, if you're an athlete, don't you have
Yeah,
to train
exactly.
for a sporting contest? So
You do.
you have to watch the last show.
You
That's
do.
how it works.
So, you know what would be interesting, Renato, is to go back and see how many shows would we have won if we took the points out from this round.
No, you're so bad at this, you would have lost anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
So, Renato, at the end of this round, before we enter with some trepidation the fanny pack of facts and reveal its contents, could you tell us the points?
So after 3 rounds, Team D'Souza takes the lead
Oh!
with 5 points.
Wow!
4.5.
And
Five
Team
positive
O'Donnell
points.
is in second place with 3.5 points.
Wow, there we
This
go.
shows insubordination really does hurt you.
Insubordination and not watching the show.
Yeah, not watching the show hurt us more than.
So, we now move on. Hang on, I need to put this on full screen for drama effect.
I'm scared.
In this round, we unzip the fanny pack of facts and with utmost discretion and professionalism rummage around in its contents in a crazed hunt for statements about Watchtower's past. But just as an actual fanny pack ignites fierce debate over its legitimacy as a fashion accessory, the facts revealed by the fanny pack of facts are open to question. You must decide which are true and which are false. I don't know why you're laughing. This is a very serious round.
Clearly.
This is probably the most serious round of the whole quiz.
Yeah.
And
No, we're just
professional.
laughing.
I think
professional
that's
round
heavy.
as well.
That's heavy insubordination going on there during Lloyd's monologue. That's heavy insubordination.
Except to Renato, though.
Okay,
He's the
so
official ref mark.
Team D'Souza, you're up first. True or false? Page 320 of the book The Kingdom is at Hand depicts the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse superimposed over a calendar page of October 1914 and numbers them as 5. Is it true or is it false?
Well, I can picture that
I can
that
picture
artwork, but whether it's on page 320 or page 319, I really don't
Exactly.
know. I mean,
It's a trick question.
considering that book is fairly new, I think. No, it's not.
Definitely not new.
No. Did it feature the Kenny Rogers horse?
No.
No.
No, that came later.
That one.
This is the book.
Oh.
That,
Well, then.
hang on, can I just see a side on?
So, oh, yes. Page 3.
They would like to see page 3 next.
300.
We're really clutching at straws,
Oh,
aren't we?
just whatever.
Well,
50-50 chance, Sasha.
50-50. Go for it.
I feel like it's a trick question and that the page number is wrong.
Okay, but was true or false? What do you reckon?
Oh, let's go true just for fun.
Yeah, I don't think Lloyd would do page number stuff like that.
True. I said true. We're
Sorry.
going true.
Team D'Souza, you have chosen as your final answer true, and you are correct. It is true.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
what was the page again?
Well done.
Page 300
382?
320.
320.
And it's really bizarre. This obviously came up in my extensive preparation for this show, because unlike some, I care about the show. So let me show you. This was really weird. So here's the picture in question. You'll see it is indeed superimposed over a calendar of October 1914. And at the
wow,
bottom,
weird.
probably you can see the kingdom sign of the 5 horsemen.
5.
And in the picture itself, you only see 4.
4.
So why on earth they've said 5?
Well, I'm sure
Viewers,
that
if you know the
I'm
answer,
sure that's
write in.
explained.
Wow.
I count only 4 in Revelation, but what do I know? I'm only someone who's not in a cult anymore.
Your book collection would speak otherwise.
There was a 5th horseman, and it kind of went behind and picked up the poo from the other 4 horsemen.
Yeah, the support horseman.
There was support
yeah.
horsemen, right? The
Yeah.
custodial horsemen.
They pulled them on all their clothes and suitcases and stuff like that.
He was on the bench in case anyone needed to sub in.
Backup horseman.
The PA.
Anyway, the fanny pack of facts will not have any of this riffraff and chat.
All right, let's move on. Come on.
The fanny pack of facts demands that you answer.
Professionalism.
Team O'Donnell, true or false?
Ready.
Asked about military service, Charles Taze Russell said believers should abstain, but he couldn't fault unbelievers for fighting for their country. Is it true or false?
Believers should abstain, but he wouldn't fault unbelievers for fighting for their country.
Was Russell a pacifist, Mark? Were they? When did the no military rule start?
I know Lloyd's been reading some early stuff about Russell. What's probably in what Pastor Russell said, and he's going to pull out a copy of that.
Right, like last week.
So it sounds,
True.
Yeah, it's a flip coin. It's a
True
coin
final
flip.
answer.
Correct.
Wow.
Yay.
done.
Just quickly thank you to Janelle Kira Souza and Micah, and we've also had some from Rebecca Logan.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you for
filled
these
Mark and Lloyd about the one from last
lovely
week.
super chat. Yeah, that was fascinating
The
from
baptism
last
questions,
week.
yeah.
The baptism one was fascinating. That basically the baptism questions were devised by Russell and have basically evolved since then. On pacifism, I've got down here as a note page 664. If you have a moment, I'll let you know what he said.
Sure.
Bear with me one moment. 600.
Bear in mind, he's in heaven watching you now as you read from his inspired.
Hi,
words.
Chaz. Hi, Chaz.
You're going to get
Thanks for
smited,
joining
Lloyd.
us. Actually, it's interesting you should say that. But anyway, 664.
I usually call him Chucky T.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, it's page 491, 492. Bear with me.
Yeah, he actually has a restaurant in heaven called Chucky T's. For all the kids.
We should have invented a penalty for this sort of thing, but we didn't envision the madness.
Humor was part of the show.
Military duty. Here we are, page 491. What position should we take in respect to military duty and so forth? He says, well, we have already answered that question, that so far as we are followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, in my judgment, we are not to have any liberty at all for military duty. He goes on to say, I am not faulting any man who takes up his gun to defend the interests of his state. If he doesn't think the nation is worth fighting for, he should go to some other nation. And then he says, the difference between our position and theirs is this: we have ceased to be citizens of this country. We have joined another nation, and we are loyal to that new nation, and loyalty to the kingdom of God required that we take our stand upon this position in harmony with the commands of our king. So that was his position on pacifism.
So Lloyd, there's a comment coming in from Pierre that says there are actually 5 horsemen in that picture.
Oh, are there really? Jesus, war, sickness, death, and so there was war, plague, death. Was there a Hades horse?
It does say Hades was following closely behind.
That's true.
But
Hades wasn't mentioned as a horse, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, because in the Revelation Climax book, it has some kind of swirling abyss as Hades.
Yeah, but Jesus is then
but it's not a horse.
But they personified it as another horse, yeah.
Well,
What
thank
about
you
your
for
fundamentals?
We got to do some more
Eric?
research on
thank you
that.
for answering that though, Pierre.
Yeah.
So it is in the illustration. I have misled
5
people. It is in the
horsemen.
illustration. It's just a bit difficult to see. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
And as you know, Lloyd, 10% correct.
Exactly. I consider myself told by Pierre there. So we move on. The fanny pack of facts demands that we continue through this foray of information. We go back to Team D'Souza. Asked on his deathbed about smiting Jordan, Charles Taze Russell said,
Michael.
someone else will have to do that. Is it true or is it false?
Sounds like something he would arrogantly say. I'm going to go true.
I'm not sure. But
Okay. Well, you can give final
you
answer.
Go. No, you go. You go. You go. I
Okay.
trust you.
For fear of being in trouble, I'm going to say true.
Is that your final answer?
Lloyd.
Yes.
Noise as opposed to here.
Playing with the eyebrows.
Lots of laughing.
Team D'Souza, I'm taking that as your final answer, and you are correct. It is true that he did say that someone else will have to do that.
Right, okay.
I don't even know what smiting Jordan entails. Assuming it's the river and not just someone called Jordan.
I thought it was about beating the Chicago Bulls. in
Yeah.
the 90s.
Presumably, it was a prophecy about sport. Thank you very much to AB for the very kind
Eric,
super
nice
chat.
haircut. I've just noticed.
Took you long enough.
The fanny pack of facts doesn't appreciate comments about haircuts. It cares only for the truth or the falsehood.
Okay.
And as the final question, we move to Team O'Donnell. True or false? A 1966 Awake article depicts two sisters preaching at someone's doorstep in miniskirts. Is it true or is it false?
I don't know, because the 60s was very mod. Like, women wore that stuff in the 60s, but it's a very modest, conservative religion. Well,
Yeah, but
not really a religion.
I kind of think I feel like Lloyd wanted to make them all true this time, and I feel like that one might be true also.
Yeah, I mean, the 60s, they were mod, so I don't know. We'll go true. Who cares? I mean, we'll go true. Sorry,
Is
Lloyd.
that your final answer?
I'm not going to be invited back. Final answer.
Your answer is incorrect. I totally made that up,
Told
and
you,
you
Mark.
fell for it.
I
Wow.
said that's
So,
very conservative religion.
The fanny pack of facts is here to sow chaos and discord, and it has taken a victim at the death. So, Renato, what are the scores?
So after 4 rounds, Team D'Souza is still in the lead with 15 points, and Team O'Donnell has 8.5 points ahead of the final round.
Great.
Yes. Mark visibly dissatisfied with his team's performance. As we move into the final round, Apocalypse Delayed, which is the great leveler. Two
Hey-
questions each.
Hey, Lloyd,
each with-
before we do that, Eric needed to jump off.
Who needs to jump off? Oh, Eric does. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Eric. It's been lovely
Thank
to
you,
have you with
Eric.
us.
Thank you guys. This
Thanks,
was
Eric.
so fun. You guys are the best, and I love what you're doing out
Yeah.
there.
And as always, check out recoveringfromreligion.org for more of what Eric's doing and the fantastic work being done by his organization. Thanks so much, Eric.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care, Eric.
Bye.
Bye.
Take
Thanks
care.
for joining us.
Great being with you.
Thank you, Eric.
There.
So, and then there were six panelists. My math fails me. The fanny pack of facts has rendered my brain a mush. So, Apocalypse Delayed. First up is Team D'Souza. Team D'Souza, you need to tell me in which year the following quote was printed in Watchtower Publications. It reads as follows. But it is not warnings of some anticipated local destruction that we have in mind. Rather, it is warnings now being broadcast earthwide of an imminent world destruction, Armageddon, that we are talking about. Was that printed in 1980, 1995, or 2010?
Sounds old to me.
So, 1980 old or?
I actually felt older than that, so I'm a
That's
little
the
shocked
oldest
at the
we've got.
choices.
The choices are 1980, 1995, or 2010.
You reckon 95?
80. Go 80.
I'll leave it to you.
1980. Lock it in.
You have chosen as your final answer 1980. I'm here to tell you, you are correct.
Oh!
It was
Wow.
1980 specifically.
Wow.
It was the December 1st Watchtower,
That's what I was going to say.
pages 4 and 5, as I'm sure you know.
I was going to say page 6. So.
Yeah. Close.
So,
We move.
so Lloyd, important update.
Okay, thank you, Renato.
If Team O'Donnell does not answer the next question correctly, the game is over.
Okay. So no pressure, Mark.
That
and
gives
Kimmy.
us incentive to give a wrong answer.
Cheek to the very end.
Insubordination, I call that.
Okay, so Team O'Donnell, I'm going to read you a quote. You're going to tell me when it was printed.
All right.
Having now set up the king of his choice, God will soon remove all of this world's rulers, as well as the entire system of things that they dominate. Was that printed in 1966, 1976, or 1986?
I'm going to go 86.
I think it's older.
Then go 66.
I think that's very 1966 language. But
Okay, we're going 66. Final answer.
I'm taking as your final answer, 1966.
And by the smirk on Lloyd's face,
It was 86. I'm really
I was
sorry.
right.
that one's on me.
And then the earlier one, same thing happened. So
I told you I wanted to end this.
you were wrong.
You guys lost it to the Souzas.
I do not take any shame in that.
Well, my
They
laptop.
are
battery
worthy
died.
adversaries. So congratulations, Team D'Souza.
Former Bethelites and pioneers. They
And
deserve it.
by the way, Lloyd,
Yeah.
one more thing. If Team D'Souza gets the next question correct, they can tie the record for most points. So there's still something to
Wow.
play
Still
for.
all to play for as we go to the final question of the game.
While you do that, I'm
for-
just grabbing my laptop charger.
Sure thing. So, Team D'Souza, give me the year that this was printed. The unfailing promise of Jehovah, repeatedly stated in the Bible, is that soon he shall destroy all wickedness and wicked rule in the earth, to be followed by the rule of righteousness by Christ Jesus and his visible representatives on the earth, and which government shall afford boundless blessings to the people. Was that printed in 1923, 1941, or 1954?
No. Okay.
41, middle of the war. Don't know if they would be reading that.
It's all old.
54.
Is that your final answer?
Unless Sherry says otherwise.
No, we're going
You-
with 54.
You are Incorrect. It was from this 1941.
That was your clue from the beginning of the show.
Close.
Dun, dun, dun.
I do like to recycle a little bit from the publications. So
Just
we
like the
go
governing body.
to Team O'Donnell for our final question. Give me the year that this was published. Surely then we have every reason to be confident that the third of these divine judgments will be carried out. In fact, we can expect the fulfillment of it very soon. For the sake of the upright ones in these last days, God will bring destruction upon all wicked humans. Was that printed in 1990, 2000, or 2010?
I'm not sure, Mark.
I'm not going to ask you to read that one again.
Yeah, I'll just let you guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What was it, 1990, 2000, or 2010?
2010.
1990.
Final answer.
You have chosen for your final answer 1990. Your answer is incorrect. It was 2000, the February 1st Watchtower on page 8.
Huh.
So, at the end of the quiz, perhaps Renato, you can give us the final scores.
So final score: Team D'Souza 25, Team O'Donnell 8.5. This is Team D'Souza's first ever win in the last day's quiz, and this is Team O'Donnell's eighth loss, 7 in a row.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Make of that what you will, viewers.
We
reminds
are
me
all
of,
about the streak. We're all about the streak. Keeping it consistent.
Consistency, yeah.
Consistency is the key.
Consistency.
Yes, it reminds me of a line from last week's poem, Mark and Kimmy. Many enjoyed the last day's quiz watching Team O'Donnell as they tried to win competitively every week, yet always victory was denied.
Denied.
Oh,
Boom.
Woo!
trash talk.
Burn.
You see, they don't win gracefully, do they, Team D'Souza? They stick the boot in.
We can't. Yeah, they do, but we can't blame it on Arthur's cheating this time. Of course, he's probably behind the scenes on his bicycle right now, feeding answers through his headset to Team D'Souza. Meanwhile, he's like giving money. He's like paying online, PayPaling
He's doing
money to
something
Renato
nefarious
to
online, no doubt.
points from us.
So-
Insubordination.
Email Arthur and thank him now. Yeah.
So, Team D'Souza, you need to choose a penalty for Team O'Donnell. Are you going to make them wear a head covering for the final few seconds of the show? Are you going to make them read Jeremiah 5, 7, and 8 from the previous edition of the New World Translation? Or are you going to ask them to sing the postlude from Song 62 from the previous songbook?
Bear in mind they have a reputable film crew in their home right now.
Yeah,
so-
I don't think they're filming us right now. I think they're done. They're just waiting on us.
Oh,
Damn.
I could go get them though.
Jeremiah.
the Jeremiah one's
Have
pretty
to do
good.
Jeremiah.
I mean, you've got to read that with real
We've heard them sing
enthusiasm.
before.
All right,
Let
send me
Mark
send me a link. I'll give you my best shot. Do you have the link?
Hang on.
Or should I just-
You don't have a Bible.
You don't have a
handy,
Bible to
I
hand,
can
brother?
I can pull up the JW.org. You said it was from with
Well,
gotta be the
JW,
old
that'll
one.
be the new. If you go on JW.org, it'll be the new.
It'll be the new one.
It's probably easy if you just pull off your bookshelf.
Well, I've got the JW.org pulled up, and
Okay.
what's the scripture again?
Jeremiah 5, 7, and 8.
From the old one.
Oh, you said from the old one,
From
Oh,
the
yeah.
old one.
not from online.
Definitely not from the New World
I
Translation.
just sent you the link in the chat, Mark.
Oh, well
Okay.
done, Renato. You see, Renato's so useful.
Yeah. He should be a producer.
Renato takes things seriously. That's what I respect about him. And it's because he's a
Yes.
professional.
For sure.
In your best Watchtower readers public
Broadcaster
talk
voice.
voice.
Oh, you don't want my okay, did you say 5, 7, and 8?
Jeremiah 5, verses 7 and 8.
He's already getting. Well, he's getting ready to start now.
All
Here
right.
we go. Here we go.
When you're new, we read all the footnotes.
Mike,
too.
do you want the film crew to record this? Can you?
If we could have,
Yes,
have the documentary crew film this, that would be appreciated. Yeah.
The team said they would
Yeah,
be
I don't
appreciated.
think
Can you
so.
wait 130 seconds
No.
more?
I don't think so.
They don't want to read this.
Well, okay.
They're coming.
That's brilliant.
A lot, Kimmy.
Brilliant. Sorry.
Just give
Love
that
you.
reading as to where this is from in the Bible, God's word.
Okay.
Go ahead.
5 words.
Go, Mark. Go, Mark. Go, Mark.
Are we ready?
We're
Okay,
ready now, Mark.
5,
We're
7,
ready.
and 8.
We're so ready.
How can I forgive you for this very thing? Your own sons have left me, and they keep swearing by what is no God. And I kept satisfying them, but they continued committing adultery. And to the house of a prostitute woman they go in troops. Horses seized with sexual heat, having strong testicles they have become. They neigh each one to the wife of his companion. Chapter 5.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
God's word, the Bible, people. God's word.
Mark,
I hope
you
guys
are
happy.
you are a phenomenal sport. I love the way you
Legend.
threw yourself into that.
Legend.
I did that for you guys. I gave you all those points. We threw the game today because we knew that was going to be the penalty, and we wanted to read that.
It was clear that you related to that material on some level, and you threw a great deal of passion
Absolutely.
into it. So
It's acting.
So, viewers, and thank you so much to Daniel Iglesias for the very generous super chat. That's very kind. That's it. We've come to the end of season 1.
What am I going to do with my Saturdays now?
The end
Liz?
The last day's live stream. And
Exactly.
gosh, will the world even carry on spinning, I question, without the last day's quiz and without my week after week victories in the first round?
It's all about you, Lloyd.
Basically.
I hope you're happy with yourself.
That's the revelation that we're bringing to you, viewers, at the end of all this. But no, it's been a fantastic show. So thankful to the JWsurvey team and to our numerous friends, Renato, Arthur, who've joined in episode after episode. In fact, we've had a few, haven't we? We've had Naomi as well.
Yeah.
Lots of people joining us and just bringing a little bit of cheer and levity to otherwise bleak times, especially if you're on your own and you're saddled with guilt, fear, indoctrination from your Jehovah's Witness experience. We hope that the last day's live stream has brought you a bit of a smile on your face and just something to be happy about. But we will be back. Watch out for us in November, when we return with season 2, and obviously there will still be videos on the John Cedars channel. In fact, we will have a Watch Time Focus episode tomorrow, so look out for that. But yeah, thank you so much to my amazing panel for being with me week after week and making these entertaining shows. I really appreciate it.
Great job, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
So viewers, as always, stay healthy, stay positive, and we will see you in season 2. Take care.
Bye.